Welcome back. And we are live for the last standing Boston sports team in the playoffs here. This was a huge bummer for us. The fact that the Bruins are over. We're still going to do a Bruins kind of season wrap up after this, and we'll continue to talk about the Bruins. But right now, we are all about the Celtics. The Celtics, by all means, have had the path cleared. The Timberwolves did us a favor, and the team that has probably given us the most trouble, and the Timberwolves have given us a lot of trouble, but the Nuggets really had our number this season. The only team to beat us both, and have a losing record against out of the playoffs. And now we have one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA in front of us. This Pacers team has given up numbers that we really haven't seen in our games. Our games have been very low scoring. The Celtics have done a great job at preventing the opponent from going over 100 points. This is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, where the Pacers, almost all their games have gone over 100 points. They are currently the best offense in the NBA, 114 points per game. The Celtics are really going to be challenged here. This may be a product of the Celtics, but you got teams like the Cavaliers and the Miami Heat, the two teams that we've faced so far, and they are bottom in the league, second worst and third worst in points per game. Now, they did have to face the Celtics, so that's going to, of course, bring the numbers down. But the Pacers are the complete other end of the spectrum. This is, on paper, statistically, the best offense per game in the NBA. And we are going to be facing it. Here's the old bull coming in, Dad. What I'm talking about right now, Dad, this is an offense.
Hold on.
Struggling. So we'll kick him out for a little bit while he goes away. The big curveball here is that they have played against a very beat up Knicks team, and the Knicks scored 110 points on them, and their whole offense was Brunson. So I'm going to double check and make sure that we are not missing anybody. The old bull's still outside. I can see his Steve Viner. So let's check and see if there's any comments on Facebook before I keep rolling. All right. The other end of the spectrum is how many points are the Pacers giving up, right? So their opponents' points per game are 110. We have faced the Heat, who have given up 108 points per game, and we faced the Cavaliers, who gave up 103 points per game. So there is a almost 10-point difference with the Cavaliers and the Heat, about 3-point difference. So that's a lot of words to say that there should be a lot more room in this round versus this Pacers team. And the question is, are we going to capitalize on it? They did give us a little bit of trouble earlier in the season. The team has been revamped. Nobody healed. No Bruce Brown. I think them getting rid of Bruce Brown was a major hit. I know Siakam's been playing well for them, but Bruce Brown was, I think, a winner and a big reason why the Denver Nuggets didn't make it all the way this season, the fact they let him go. So we got the Pacers, Dad. I think, Dad, the first thought, last series, the Pacers and the Knicks, let me double check this. They had a 120-point scorer in almost every game except two. So 5 out of 7 games, they had a 120-point scorer at least. In the 2 games that weren't, both teams scored almost 110, and the other one scored 116. Do you see a series like the Pacers-Knicks this go around, Dad? Do you see both teams breaking 100?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, you seem a little quiet, but yeah. I'm going to turn you up a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry about the technical difficulties.
No worries.
I see this series basically being more high scoring than we've seen. It's funny because you think of the Pacers and they're one of the top 3 scoring teams in the league, and you think 3-point bombs. Not really. They're the number one or number 2 team in the league at points in the paint. But here's the thing. They don't get their points in the paint from posting up. They get their points in the paint from driving to the hoop. So I think we're going to miss Porzingis more than people realize. They're just like, sit Porzingis out for this series. We'll be fine. I don't know. So they're a little scary like that. Halliburton is amazing 3-point shooter especially when he heats up. Miles Turner always seems to kill us from three. It's like almost a given with that guy.
Yep.
And so I'm really almost wondering or hoping the Celtics go with a lot more zone than they normally do. Maybe with Cornette in the middle, shot blocker in the middle to man up.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know if that's the way to go, but look for the Celtics to possibly play a little more defensive zone than we're used to.
All right. So Celtics lead the NBA right now in the playoffs in 3-point attempts per game. We're at 38.5. The Pacers are currently fourth with 34 3-pointers per game, and they are third in makes. So they're actually shooting 3-pointer better than anybody. They are the highest 3-point percentage shooting team in the league. One thing they definitely don't do is they don't get to the line. They're pretty much tied for second to last when getting to the line. It's really, every series is different, everybody. And this one, I think, do you think Halliburton is the best ball handler we've faced so far, Dad?
In the playoffs? Oh.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Goodness, absolutely. He's way better than Garland as far as a ball handler, better overall player. I mean, about the same defensively, not very good, either way. The Heat, I mean, they didn't have much. I think they had Hero playing a lot of point guard. And
Sam was like that Jokic role a bit.
Yeah. And so, this team, and they're healthy.
Yes.
Every team we played, we've had the advantage in the health department, even though we don't have Porzingis. They're healthy. Neesmith is as close to a hockey player as there is in basketball. My son hates playing against him. I don't blame
100%.
him. He's like he's a reckless, like,
he just throws his body around
out there.
Yeah.
He just throws himself everywhere. He's just, he's a complete maniac. On a hardwood floor. So I'm with Matt on that. I'm hoping he doesn't hurt any of our players.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They got Toppin, who again, he can't shoot from the outside. He can't post up. He can't mid range, but the guy can drive. He's a transition player.
He can get up there. Yeah.
Right. Neesmith, he's another one. He has been pretty good from three. He's streaky, but he drives the hoop a lot. Halliburton drives the hoop a lot. So we really have to try to protect the paint here, not fall asleep on threes too, man, because like you said, they can't hit them. They can't hit their threes, and when they got both going, they're tough to beat, but make no mistake about it, their defense is dog crap.
Yeah. Their defense is dog crap.
Yep. Yeah.
And now
I'm fairly confident that Matt and I and a few of our listeners could get about 90 points on these guys.
Yeah. I like my dad's hyperbole with our skill level, and I appreciate that. So one thing about Neesmith and Strus, these two players who we shipped away so that they could make more money than they ever would have made with us, and they successfully did so. And for some reason, they hate us. I don't get it. You were not going to become the player you are today. And I appreciate the edge. I appreciate the hustle. But Neesmith likes to go under guys playing against us. He sort of run through guys. He likes to take dangerous charges when they're not even good. He likes to slide under guys. I don't know why he has to play that way. It bums me out because I would like to cheer for him. I'd like to cheer for Strus, but same thing. Strus is such a jerk, and he's dirty against us. But like Olynyk. Olynyk is a guy, went somewhere else, made a name for himself. Hats off to Olynyk. Never gives us any trouble. These two guys are like ridiculous. Now, here's the biggest concern for me, Dad. The Pacers are averaging 30 assists per game. That is an amazing game for the Celtics. The Celtics are all the way down at 23. The next closest was 25. So this is going to be a big game, I think, for our defensive IQ. It's less about stopping one-on-ones and knowing where to go when the ball is moved, because they move the ball a lot. And like you said, I think we're going to hurt missing Porzingis. It's going to be super interesting. Yeah, I mean, overall, Dad, food for thought. Do you think this Pacers team is here today if the Knicks were healthy?
No, absolutely not. So, but let me expand on what you said. The Celtics defense has to be disciplined. They will not be able to double team Halliburton. He is an excellent passer. There's a reason why he led the league in passing. I think the last 2 years he's led the league.
Yep.
total per year. So they can't. So if he's on fire from three, Celtics going to have a hard time. I'm not saying they're going to lose or anything like that because they can't. They won't be able to afford to double him because trust me, he will find the open guy. He's a skilled player. That team, Rick Carlisle, he's a good offensive coach. He just, he always has been. He can't coach defense to save his life, but that's what that team moves the ball. They're unselfish. Their best player, Halliburton, is all about the assists, on top of being able to light it up. So when your best player is all about the assists, that's what you get. You get guys who move the ball. And, so Celtics, so if you're out there and Halliburton's kind of lighting us up, especially from three, and you're yelling, why aren't they doubling them? Trust me, you double them, you can make it worse. So keep that in mind.
I totally agree. And really, you want to almost force Halliburton to shoot because, again, he can get hot, but he also can disappear. Last series, he had a game when he had 13 points, a game when he had 15 points, and a game when he had 6 points. He did go off 2 games where he had over 30, and he kind of disappeared. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of Halliburton we get. And they're going to be tired. Like, overall, the Pacers did a lot better job from a minute standpoint with their players compared to the Knicks. But they pretty much finished that series, got in a plane, and flew to Boston. And we got to capitalize with energy right off the bat. We got to defend home a lot better than we have been. And Dad, who do you think on the Celtics is going to be one of the standouts this series? Anybody come to mind?
Yeah, really. This should be a Derek White series.
Oh, wow.
Because he's going to have Halliburton on him, and Halliburton again, not a good defender. I mean, that's all there is to it. It really should be. If Derek White is struggling, that's an issue. And, and Holiday's going to get his shot too because he's a point guard also. There's going to be times he's going to be guarding, and, he's going to find switches where he has Halliburton on him. He's got to post him up. Absolutely pound him down low. I want to see a lot of Holiday post up. And, they only have one rim protector. We shouldn't be gunning a lot of three-pointers against this team. Anytime you have the ball and you're a Celtic, if you see Miles Turner having to cover somebody on the other side of the court by the three-point line, they should be doing everything in their power to drive to the hoop. They don't have any rim protectors. Obi Toppin's okay, but he's just not up there.
No.
That's part of being them, being an awful defensive team is not just, they're loose on their three-point coverage is they can't cover at the rim. So
we got Gregory. Gregory, thanks for trying. Love the analysis. And I'm thinking game 1 in the bag. Game 2, I'm always at a loss. I don't know if that's our MO, Gregory, but for some reason, game 2, we just can't get it up for it. We're, of course, going to talk about that after this. But we have put the foot on the gas against in game 1. Yeah. So game 1s, let's hope they can figure out how the heck to, sure up game 2s. But,
he's right. They should have a tired team they're facing tonight. Grueling 7-game series, 1 day of rest, having to fly into Boston, of course. They're right for the taking. Greg is right. They should truck them this game. I mean, stranger things have happened. But, man, that game, the game 2s, what is going on with that? For the love of God, could we ever go on the road where we're amazing with a 2-0 lead and basically, stomp the life out of them by winning? All you got to do is win one of the next 2 games.
Can we defend our house?
And they are the road killers. The Celtics, Tatum and Brown are road killers. They will kill you on the road. All they got to do is go back to Indiana and win one of those. Now we're up 3-1. Series in hand. We get another gentleman's sweep. Rest before the finals. Greg is right, man. I'm not really worried about tonight. Game damn 2, though. Come on, man.
Yep. And, I'm just looking at the Celtics. There's been a big sample size against this Pacers team. We've played 5 games against them total. In James played 4. He is averaging 32.5 points per game. Brown's averaging 28.5 in 5 games. Derek White's averaging 16 in 5 games. Drew Holiday's averaging 14 in 5 games. I mean, if those 4 guys scored even 2 or 3 points under their average, we're already almost at 100 points. I'm not very good at math, so don't fact check that. But we'll see. Big game, 8:03. We'll be back here after.
We'll see you for the post game. We're both back at home.
Yep.
So ready to roll. Oh, and for you Bruins fans, We're going to be doing a wrap up end of the season where we like to see the team go tomorrow. And I cannot guarantee that the old bull will not get angry. I will do my best though.
I did tease that at the very beginning too. So people who watch the start of this video will get that. We are going to do. We should do a live stream for it. And we started to do polls on our YouTube. If you have any insight, we will have a lot of data from the fans as well. So yeah, go Celtics. Celtics win this one big. Ready?
Celebrate a win, folks. Thank you for tuning in.